would like to read this?
I can go, Prabhu. Shall I start?
Yeah, please.
Okay. Om Agyana Timirandesha Gyananjana Salakaya Chaksur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. I was born in the darkest ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torch of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. I offer my respectful obeisances unto His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, who is very dear to Lord Krishna, having taken shelter at his lotus feet. Our respectful obeisances are unto you, O spiritual master, servant of Bhakti Vedanta, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami. You are kindly preaching the message of Lord Chaitanya Deva and delivering the Western countries which are filled with impersonalism and voidism. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. I offer my obeisances to Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Srivasa and all others in the line of devotion. Maha means Maha means great, and mantra means sacred chant of deliverance. Of all mantras in Vedas, one is called the Maha Mantra or Great Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The words Hare, pronounced as Hare, Krishna, pronounced Krishna, and Rama rhymes with Rama, are Sanskrit words. Hare is an address to God's energy, known as Radha, and Krishna is name of God, meaning who is attractive to everyone. Rama means one who is pleasure, gives pleasure and enjoys life. When chanted, the Maha Mantra is a petition to God. O Krishna, O energy of Krishna, please engage me in your service.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. How are you, Kevin, Suji, Raji, Guna, Mohan, Katni, Ravi, and Divya? Okay, that's good. Okay, let's start there. Okay, who would like to read this? Volunteer?
I can go, Prabhu.
Okay. You can manage or you need help?
Which slide, Prabhu? Which one you want me to read? Gita Gyan.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess. Devaki Nando, Devaki Nandana Krishno, Gita Patana Tu Syati, Yatana Devana, Denana Yajna, Trita Vrita Vihi. The son of Devaki, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, cannot be satisfied by anyone's study of the Vedas, charity, sacrifice, pilgrimage, or vows, as much as he is satisfied by the devotional recitation of the Gita.
Thank you. So this is, who knows which deity is this?
Narasimha.
Lord Narasimha Dev. He is half man, half lion. He came to kill the demon Hiranyakashipu. Have I told you this story yet?
Yes, Prabhu, you already told us the story.
Okay, so you know. So we chant Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevayam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevayam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevayam. And this is take the blessings of Lord Narasimha Dev. He is the protector of all devotees. Whenever you have any problem, you just pray to Lord Narasimha Dev. and he will come and help you. This is his speciality. Krishna is avatar of Krishna, but in a protective mood. So we also take the blessings and ask for his protection and also ask for his blessings for the Lord, from the Lord's blessings. And then we also ask from Srila Prabhupada blessings so that we can understand the Gita nicely. So I give one pastime of Prabhupada. Prabhupada wanted to visit Singapore. So he flew into Singapore. At the airport, the immigration said you cannot enter. He said, why? Because he says two devotees of Hare Krishna have come to Singapore and they have said unkind words about devas. So you know, in Singapore, most of our Hindu temples are deva temples. So we cannot allow you in. So Prabhupada could not go into Singapore. So he waited for they bought him another ticket, and then he landed in Kuala Lumpur after that. In Kuala Lumpur, when he came, a lot of people came to the airport to receive him. And then after that, he went to one program in Kuala Lumpur. Then he even went to Tilok Intan and gave a program. So Prabhupada did come to Malaysia and he came for a few days, 3 days only. After that, he left. Okay, who would like to read this? Are you all there, no?
Yes, Prabhu, we are here.
But the line is a bit
Bad, Prabhu, and I don't think so you're sharing your slides on the screen.
Oh, really, huh? That's
Yeah.
what I was thinking, huh? Okay, now is it better?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Did you hear the story of Prabhupada coming to Malaysia?
Yes.
Yes, huh? Okay. Okay, who would like to read this? Who volunteer?
I can read it.
Yeah, can. You need help?
Or maybe I'll read it, and if it's wrong, you can correct me.
Okay.
Gitayas
Very slowly.
Gitayas Chana Janati Patanam Naiva Patanam Sa Eva Manuse Loke Moga Karma Karubhavit.
Okay, good.
Person who knows nothing about learning and teaching the Gita is a failure in the duty of the human form of life.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Sri Vaishnava Tantra Sara, verse 13.
Yeah, this is a very short verse, but has a lot of power in this small verse. If you know nothing about learning and teaching the Gita, it's a failure in the duty of human form of life. Amazing, isn't it? Very short, but very straightforward. I don't need to explain this verse, right? You all can understand exactly what it's saying. Anyone has any doubt? Then I explain. All of you understand?
Yes, Prabhu.
Who
Yes,
doesn't
Prabhu.
understand? All understood. Very good. Why? Okay, then since all of you understood, I'm going to.
I have a.
Yeah.
Oops, yeah.
Yes, Kevin, ask the question first.
No, because I thought in the previous chapters, then we said that as long as you maintain your devotion, like the gopis, you said don't know much about the Gita, but they are still Krishna's top devotees.
Yeah.
So how can you then be a failure?
Oh, okay. You know, there is a story. Lord Chaitanya went to South India. And then he went to one of the temple, the Kurma temple. Have you heard of it?
You know, I haven't.
Temple. Anyway, we went to this. It's a very old temple. It's very beautiful. Anyone who has a chance can please go there. I went there once and it's beautiful. Then we took a bath in the lake next to the temple. It's supposed to be very nice. And then after that, we went off, you know. So anyway, Mahaprabhu went to the Kurma temple. And then there was one man reading the Gita. And then he was reading the Gita and he was feeling very, very like ecstatic. And tears were coming from his eyes. And then, but people were walking by him and they were laughing at him. One or two, and then three people were just looking at him and thinking, and then, you know, like, what this fellow? And Mahaprabhu was very surprised. Why this man seems to be reading the Gita and he is reveling, he's very much happy. He seems to be very ecstatic. So then, why do you laugh at him? Why are people laughing at him? He said, you know, this man, he don't know how to read at all. And he is taking the Gita, he is opening the Gita, and tears are coming out from the eyes. He can't even read. So that's why we are very, that's why the people are a bit surprised. Then Mahaprabhu went to the man. He said, excuse me, Prabhu. He said, yes, Mahaprabhu. I see that you can't read. He said, yeah, I can't read. Then he said, but then you are holding the Gita and tears are coming from your eyes. So why is it that since you can't even read, you can't even understand, how come tears coming from the eyes? He said, you know why? Every time I touch the Gita, I know that Krishna is the charioteer in the Gita. And then Arjuna is the warrior. And then Krishna is pulling the chariot in the war. And his hands are being cut. Every time I feel the hands of his hands being cut, because the reins are very, very strong, you know. So it's very hard on the hands. So then I feel so much sorrow, tears come out from my eyes. And then what Mahaprabhu said to him? He said, you have understood the purpose, the whole essence of the Gita. So basically, the gopis have already understood the essence of the Gita. It's for us who know nothing about learning and teaching the Gita is a failure. That means it's more for us, but not for the very high level devotees. Does that answer your question? Because they already know the meaning of the Gita. When we read the Gita, then only we will understand the Gita and we're trying to learn. But they already got a PhD. Kevin, does it understand? Does that answer your question?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah. Not maybe fully, but some part.
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's for general people. Most, you see, most of the scriptures are for general. So we are part of the general people, but there are some very high exceptions. So that one is, we cannot compare ourselves to that. Their previous birth already, they already got that, all that knowledge, and they're just finishing it this birth and going back on. Okay. Anyway, the gopis are from the spiritual world and they are going back to the spiritual world. They came just to accompany Krishna in his pastime, and when they wanted, and when Krishna was going, they went back with him. Okay.
Okay.
So today is chapter 13, nature, enjoyer, and consciousness. Krishna in chapter 1 to 6 explaining the relationship and the difference between the body and the soul and the Supreme Lord. and the different types of yoga. Krishna in 7 to 12 have given detailed process of bhakti yoga. Now we are starting on chapter 13 to 18, how the soul come in contact and interact with the material nature and the world, and how to get deliverance from the material nature and reach the spiritual world. The main theme of the whole of Bhagavad Gita is to perfect one's life and reach the spiritual world. Now in this chapter 13, Krishna is speaking about the body, soul, and the super soul. Okay, so let's see what is. That means the interaction of the soul with the material nature and the different interactions. So, but in this chapter 13, from 13 to 18, this chapter 13, we are speaking about the body, the soul, and the super soul. Who would like to start? Who hasn't read? Raji, you have
Yeah,
read?
Prabhu. Guna here, Prabhu.
Okay, Guna, you want to read?
Yeah, Prabhu.
You need my help?
Yes, I need your help.
Arjuna Uvacha
Arjuna Uvacha
Taktim Purusam Chaiva
Pratim Urusam Deva
Setram Setram
Setram Setra
Janam Evacha
Janam Venacha
Etat Veditum
Veta Veditam
Ichami
Echami
Janam
Janam
Janayam
Nayam
Chakesava.
Cha Kesava. Arjun said, "Oh my dear Krishna, I wish to know about the pratik Purusa, the enjoyer, and the feel
Nature, must say nature.
pratik nature, Purusa, the enjoyer, and the feel, and the knower of the feel, and of the knowledge and the object of knowledge."
Yeah. So Krishna, he's asking Krishna, I want to know about Prakriti, which is the material nature. Purusha, which is the soul. The feel and the knower of the feel. Feel is the person and the knower of the feel is Krishna. And of knowledge and of the object of knowledge. About knowledge and what is the object of knowledge. Okay, so he's asking the material world, that the relationship between the material world and the soul. And then, sorry, what happened? And so he's talking about the nature and the soul. This is one. And then he's talking about the body and the soul, the feel and the knower of the feel. This is actually, sorry, the body and the soul. Okay, and he's asking number 3, the truth of knowledge and the object of knowledge. That means the truth about the body, the knowledge and the object of knowledge. This is knowledge is the truth and the object is knowledge is the body. Okay, so far. You want me to repeat or it's okay? No one saying anything? Are you all there?
Yes. Okay.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, shall I repeat again? It's a bit complicated, right?
Yes, please.
Okay, so the material nature, I wish to know about the material nature and the soul. And then he says the body, the field, and the knower of the field. The field is the body, and the knower of the field is the soul. Okay. And number 3 is I want to know about truth and and about the body, the truth about the body. What is the supreme truth and what is the truth about the body? Anyway, we'll carry on, then you see. Okay, who would like to read this? Who hasn't read yet? Divya, you want to read?
I'll go, Prabhu.
Okay. You need my guidance?
I'll try.
You want to try on your own?
Yes, I'll try.
Okay, sir.
Sri Bhagavan Uvacha idam sariram kaunteya streram iti abhidyate etat yo veti tam praho stretra jana iti tat vida strejanam chapi mam
This is
vidi
Kshetra.
stretra janam chapi mam vidi
Kshetra, not Janam. Sweta, Janam.
stretra jananam chapi mam vidi sarva stresasu bharata streta nayor jananam yat touch jananam matam mama.
This is Jananam, there's no A in the end. Jananam.
Jananam
Yeah.
matam mama. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, this body or son of Kunti is called the field, and one who knows this body is called the knower of the field. O scion of Bharata, you should understand that I am also the knower in all bodies, and to understand this body and its knower is called knowledge. That is my opinion.
Thank you. So
Thank
the Lord says that the body is called the field, material body, or the material world. And one who knows this body is called the knower of the field. So the Atma, which is self-realized, is the knower of the field. And then, O scion of Bharata, that means O son of Bharata, that's Arjuna, you should understand that I am also the knower in all the bodies. That means we have this material world, and you have people who are trying to know the material world, but I am also the knower in all bodies. I know all the souls and the bodies. You get it so far? And to understand this body and its knower is called knowledge. So if you can understand the body and the soul, it's called knowledge. The difference between the body and the soul is called knowledge. That is my opinion. Okay? So far, so good? I give you an example. Here's an example. So supposing one man is the owner of all these houses. Yeah, he makes the whole building and he is not selling at all. He is only renting out. So there are tenants, right? In each house, he's got tenants. So the tenant knows about his house only. Does he know about what is happening in the next house? No, he doesn't know. Third house, no. But the landlord knows all his properties, 1, 2, 3, 4. He knows any problems are in these properties, anything. Who is the tenant here? Who is the tenant here? Who is the tenant here? All these people who are tenants, he knows all of them. But the person who's staying in the house, he only knows about what he knows. He knows about his house and he knows the landlord. Got the idea? So the super soul, the Krishna, is considered, he knows us and he knows about our bodies also. We only know about our body and we know about Krishna, but we don't know about other people. But Krishna knows all the people and all the bodies. We only know about our body. Hopefully, sometimes we are all under delusion thinking that we are the body, not the soul. And we only know about our relationship with Krishna. But Krishna has relationship with everybody. And he knows of everybody and he knows their body. Okay? I hope that's understood so far. Any questions so far?
No.
Can, huh? Get the idea. Another example is a farmer knows about his land and he knows what crops he's growing. And this is the king, is a very fat king, so sorry to tell you. He looks more like a landlord than a king, but anyway. He's a king. And in those days, sometimes what they do is they have the farmers planting crops. And the king will take maybe 20% or 30% of the crops. And the king will sell the crops, raise the money to run the, it's like a tax law, can we say, to run the country. Okay, so the king knows this fellow and he knows what he's planting. And this fellow is planting and he knows the king. But he doesn't know what the other farmers are planting. But the king knows all which farmer is planting what, because they have to give him a report. Oh, this fellow say I'm planting bananas. This man, another man say I'm planting corn. Another man say I'm planting rice. Another man say I'm planting wheat. So then at the hour's time, the king will come, send his man. Okay, 20% of how much you have, give to me. And he will take it. So the king knows everybody, what's happening to everybody. Then we got the story of the Kanaka Das and the eating of the banana alone. There is a nice school there, and there's a nice teacher there, and there are nice students there. So all the students learn about mathematics, science, and all that. They also learn about scripture. So one day, the guru said, I got this one for you, assignment for you. Everybody collect one banana from me, and everyone went and took the banana. Okay, I want you to go to one part of the place where there is no one and eat your banana and then come back here. So then all of them took the banana and they left. And then all came back, haven't eaten their banana already. But one boy came back, his name is Kanaka, with the banana. Then the teacher said, Kanaka, I asked you to go and find a place where there is nobody, so and eat your banana. Could you not find some place where there is nobody? He said, yes, teacher. Everywhere I go, I see the Lord is there. There is no place where there is no Lord. So that is why I could not eat the banana. Because, you know, the Lord is there. That is why. So you understand that the Lord is everywhere. He knows everything. So basically, it's interesting, isn't it? If Kanaka Das can actually see that the Lord is present everywhere, So he's actually a very high level type of spiritual man, isn't it? Most of us, what we'll do, we take banana and go, and, oh, there's nobody, let's eat it. We forget that Krishna is there. Was it a nice story? I hope you liked it. Something to think about. Okay, then in this chapter, Krishna is speaking about the field of activity. What is the field of activity? That is the, let's see, the field of activity is all about the material world. We have gross elements. We have the earth. What is constitutes our material nature? Is earth, water, fire, air, and ether. Okay, these 5 things make the gross elements, the material nature. And then we have knowledge acquiring senses. When you read this chapter of Bhagavad Gita, you get all this. So we are just summarizing because it's a summary, right? That's why we are not going every verse, but this is the idea. And then we have knowledge acquiring senses, which is eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin. Because skin has senses. So I want to ask you, this knowledge acquiring sensor, is it part of material nature or not?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, it is part of material nature. Then we have the working senses. Working senses is the voice, the legs, the hands, the anus, and the genitals. These are working senses. All right. Then we have the sense object. We see the form with the eye. We hear the sound with the ear. We smell with the nose, right? So we see the eyes, right? What do we see? We see forms. Then the ears, what they hear? They hear sound. The nose, what they smell? They smell the different fragrance. Well, then the tongue, what they do? They taste. And the skin, what they do? They have the touch. You know, when the parent touch the baby very happy. So it's a touch. When the boy and girl who are like very close to each other and they hug each other, they become very happy. Something like that is the touch. Then we have the subtle body. All this 1, 2, 3, 4 is the gross body. Then we have the subtle body. That's why this chapter, Krishna has already started talking about the soul and the material world. What is the relation? So then we have the mind, the subtle body, the mind. We have the intelligence. So, and we have the false ego. When you die, your mind, intelligence, and false ego go with you. This all don't go with you. All right. So then we have the unmanifest state of the 3 modes. Pradhana. Pradhana is the consciousness. The mind, the intelligence, and the false ego make your conscious. So far, so good. We are getting technical, but this is the Gita is a very nice book. It tells you A to Z. This is the soul. This is the subtle body. This is the gross body. The mind, the intelligence, and the false ego make up the subtle body. Your soul is the pure soul. Okay? All right. First, when you die, your gross body disappears. Then you take another gross body. But when you go back to the Godhead, your gross body goes, your subtle body goes, your soul only goes back to the spiritual world. All right? Okay. All right. Now let's go to this verse. Who hasn't read?
I'll go, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, come. You can manage?
No, please guide me.
Okay. Iti Kshetram
Idi kshetram
Tata Janam
tata jananam
Neyam
jneyam
Choktam Samasatam
bhoktam samasata
Madbhakta
madbhakta
Etad Vijnaya
etat vichnaya
Madbhava
madbhava
Yopapadyate.
yopapadyate. Thus, the field of activities, the body, knowledge, and the knowable have been summarily described by me. Only my devotees can understand this thoroughly and thus attain to my nature.
So Krishna is the super soul in everyone's heart. We have our Atma in the heart and Krishna is expanded. That is why, did I tell you of the man who wanted to be God? The story of the man who wanted to be God? Anyone can tell me, did I tell the story? Because I'm giving so many classes, so sometimes I don't know whether I did tell.
Not sure. I don't think I recall that story.
Anyone else can remember a story about a man who wanted to be God?
I think no, Prabhu.
No, huh? Okay. So there was this man, and then he was very thinking, God is so fortunate. He is controlling everybody. He is the Supreme Lord. He is doing this, he is doing that. Whatever he say, everyone have to follow. If you don't follow, then problem comes for the fellow. So then, one day he met God. And God asked him, how are you? He said, I'm not happy. Oh, really? Why are you not happy? Because you are so fortunate, God. You are the all-powerful. I am nobody, but I'm very capable. God said, yeah, really? You are very capable? Oh, that's nice to hear. I'm very happy to hear. What you want from what you want then? He said, God, I want to be God. How about I take your position? Then God said, okay, no problem. Tomorrow morning you come and start work as God. So then the man was very happy. Next morning he went and he said, God, I've come to take your position. Yeah, I'll prove to you that how clever I am. I'm better than you. God said, okay, please be my guest. Please take over the position. And God went and he just sat somewhere very far, no one can see him. And then this man said, wow, very nice. Come, bring me food. And as so the people said, what food you want? Just cook something nice. What you want us to cook nice? Must I tell you everything? Yeah, we don't know. You tell us. So he said, okay, you cook this. Okay. Then many people came to see God. God, I got this problem. Please help me, God. Oh, okay. And then before he even could start helping this man with the problem, another man come. God, my wife is sick. God, please make her well. Oh, wait. And then another man came, and thousands of people came, and all asking, please, God, please help me, God. I need your help, God. Then this man was very shocked. Oh my God, how can I do so many things? At the same time, there are thousands and millions of people asking me to do. I'm only one person. This is too hard. And then he was so frustrated. He did nothing. Everyone said, God, you are useless, God. What type of God you are? I ask you for help. You never help me. God, I want to become a spiritual person. Please help me. And then this man said, oh, So he's one person. How much can he help, right? If I tell Mohan, Mohan, there are 1,000 people coming to see you tomorrow morning, and you have to help all of them. What you will do, Mohan? Mohan,
I'll go bonkers, Prabhu.
you will run away. You say, sorry, tell my wife. My wife will tell everyone,
Yes, Prabhu.
I'm not home. Bye-bye. So at the end of the day, God came back and said, how is everything? He said, God, please, you take this position. I cannot take it. My hair is already in one day from black became white today. Please, you take over. I'm very sorry. I thought that your life is so easy, but I think your life is the most difficult in the whole world. You are helping millions of people at the same time. I don't know how you do it. I will pay respects to you. So basically, you want to be God. You can't be God because you don't know how to be God. You can't do the things God can do. You can't do so many things. You can't even help one person. You can't even help yourself. You want to help other people. But God can help everyone. How he does it? He expands himself as the super soul in everyone's heart. And whatever they ask him, God is listening. But is God doing all the work? Nothing. He is in Goloka, Vrindavan, he's enjoying. When you are asking God, please help me, he as a super soul is hearing and he is helping you. But all like what? No, all subcomputers attached to the main computer. So he knows everything that's happening, but he is enjoying himself with his devotee. And whenever you ask something from God, God is listening, but he is the super soul expansion of it is actually helping all of us. Get the idea now? So now, if someone says that God is one person, yes, God is one person. But Krishna can expand himself into thousands and millions and billions and trillions and zillions, and he can help everybody. That is why God can be personal with you. Otherwise, how to God be personal with you? The Christians say the angels will be with you. That means God is not with you, but the people are praying not to the angels, they are praying to God. God, please help me. But the angel is not praying, they are not saying to the angel, please help me. So you understand the fallacy of the logic. You understand, huh? So basically, Krishna says that only my devotees can understand this thoroughly and thus attain my nature. They understand I am the Supreme Lord. I can expand myself and I can help everyone, and they can all come back to me. And even in the spiritual world, Krishna can be with all of us. How he will be with all of us? Later I tell you one more story. Okay, who hasn't read?
I can go, Prabhu.
Yes, please.
I need your guidance.
Okay. Prakruti and Purusha are beginningless. Okay. So Praktim,
Praktim
Purusam Chaiva,
Purusham Chaiva
Vidi Anadi,
Vivi Hanadi
Ubhav Api,
Ubhav Api
Vikaramscha,
Vikaramscha
Gunam Chaiva,
Gunam Chaiva
Vidi Prakti,
Vidhi Prakti
Sambhavan.
Sambhavan. Material nature and the living entities should be understood to the beginningless. Their transformation and the moods of matter are products of material nature. Thank you.
So Krishna says that material nature and the living entities are beginningless. There's always material nature, there are always living entities. But then we only thought that the living entities are eternal, right? But now Krishna says the material nature is also eternal. What is really material nature? It is the inferior energy of Krishna. Since Krishna, remember which chapter is the universal form? Who can tell me? Which chapter?
Chapter 11.
Very good. So chapter 11, universal form, everything, all the material nature, everything is part of Krishna. So Krishna has always been there. So the material nature is always there also. But it is inferior nature. It's got no life, but it's part of Krishna. And the living entities, which are our soul, should be understood to be beginningless. Their transformation and the modes of matter are products of material nature. When the living entities get entangled into the material nature, they forget that they are the spiritual soul. They forget that they are eternal. They start thinking we are the body. Then we always say my body, right? So who is the mind? The soul is the mind. Then I am the body. Is it correct to say I am the body? People who don't know that we are the soul will say, yes, I am the body. But people who know that we are the soul, the body is temporary, because the Gita already teach you and make you clever. They say, no, I am not the body. Okay, huh? So then sometimes you can become animals, sometimes you can become human beings. So there are many varieties of living entities. Okay. Who hasn't read? Everyone read already? Okay. Who hasn't read the verses?
Me, Prabhu.
Yeah. Okay.
You are okay. Upadrasthanumanta cha Bharta Bhokta Maheshwaraha Paramatmeti Chapyukto Dehismin Purusha Paraha. Yet in this body there is another, a transcendental enjoyer, who is the Lord, the supreme proprietor, who exists as the overseer and permitter, and who is known as the super soul.
So I told you about how Krishna expanded himself. So this is basically the same what Krishna is saying. I already explained to you, right? Okay. Okay. You see the prati is the material, very sensitive. Prati is the material nature. Purusha is the enjoyer of the material nature. It means the soul. Kshetra is the body. Kshetra jana is the soul and the super soul. That means what is in the kshetra. Kshetra jana is the soul, our soul, and the super soul. And then janam is understanding, and the kshetra, understanding about the body. Jnayam is the soul and the super soul. The soul and the super soul should understand the kshetra, which is the body. Okay, so far? So this is technical a bit, but we put it in a nice chart for you to understand and make it a bit clearer, right? Anyway, these slides I've already sent to you. So anytime you got a problem, you want to understand, you can also. Okay, who hasn't read the verses yet?
Me, Prabhu.
Okay, come. You need help?
Yes, Prabhu, I need your guidance.
Okay. Anyetu evam
Anyetu evam
ajananta
ajananta
sruta nebhyang
sutayebhya
upasate
upasate
tepi jati taranti eva
cheti chattaranta eva
mrityum sruti
nityum surti
parayana.
parayana. Again, there are those who, although not conversant in spiritual knowledge, begin to worship the Supreme Person upon hearing about him from others. Because of their tendency to hear from authorities, they also transcend the path of birth and death.
Yes. And there are those who, though not conversant in spiritual knowledge, they begin to worship the Supreme Person upon hearing about him from others. Because of their tendency to hear from authorities, they transcend the path of birth and death. Okay, now I want to ask you, who is the first person you heard about God? Who was the first person who talked to you about the existence of God? All of you supposed to answer. Can you remember? Mohan?
Prabhu, are you asking the awareness of Krishna conscious, or you're talking about generally knowing God?
God only.
Then will be parents.
Okay, good. Kashmini?
Yes, Prabhu, parent.
Suji?
Parents, Prabhu.
Huh?
Parents, Prabhu.
Raji?
Sorry, Prabhu, what's the question?
Question is,
Oh, just now the line break and I left it the
okay,
meeting.
who is the first person that talked to you about existence of God?
Probably parents.
Okay, Divya?
Parents.
Okay. Guna already said
Yes, Prabhu. Parents.
parents. So you see, who is the first person that talked to you about God is your parents. Luckily, all of you do not have atheist parents. If you had atheist parents, the first person would not be your parents talking to you about God, right? So we are very fortunate to have parents which are not atheists. It's very good, you know. So Krishna says, so your first person who talked to you about God is your parents. After that, somebody else will talk to you. So there are those who are not conversant in spiritual knowledge. They will start to worship the Lord upon hearing him from others. Because of their tendency to hear from authorities, they also transcend the path of birth and death. So sometimes you may hear, then you want to go deeper, then you say, okay, let me read the Bhagavad Gita. So that's why you are here, right? Or you may read some other scriptures before coming to Gita. But finally, you have reached the Bhagavad Gita. This is your very great fortune. You have reached the book Bhagavad Gita and you are trying to learn and understand. It's actually a very, you must have done many pious activities to come to this level. Okay? So this is Krishna is speaking. Okay. The story of the cobbler and the Brahmana is a very beautiful story. Okay, are you all ready for the story?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. I like to tell stories. I hope you like to listen to stories. Okay. Anyway, there was this Narada Muni. He's a very nice person. Narada Muni was the son of a lady who had a hotel, not a small hotel. So anyway, whenever somebody is passing through, they need a place to rest, they will rest. But she was alone and she had a little boy. His name was Narada. But because she was alone, sometimes some people will ask for her special favors. And then she will sleep with them and get more money. So in a way, she was a bit loose, you can say, okay? But then she is a very nice lady also. Now you might ask me, how can this type of lady be very nice? She is a very nice lady. She got a nice son like Narada, who was very spiritual. And then also, when the saints, holy men used to come and stay in her house, she will not charge them any money. And she will also give them prasad and not charge them. You know, she do it as charity to them. Only the normal people, she will give them a place to stay and food, and they charge them. And some people, some men, they want extra. So then she also will oblige, get more money. I know this is a bit difficult for you to digest, but anyway, there are people like this. But she had a very nice son. And the son was, whenever these spiritual people came, they used to come and eat, and then he would ask, can I have some of your balanced prasad? Because it's stated that if you take the prasad eaten by very holy men and they give you some, it's called a very high level prasad. You get a lot of mercy from them, you know. So anyway, they used to be very fond of him, and they gave him, and he used to eat and go. So then you can understand that even the holy men, they are also very special people. Even though the lady is not on a high stature, they will still eat her food. So in a way, they are very compassionate. In a way, there is no fixed rule. Anyway, one day, the mother died. And then one day, Narada Muni also asked the mother, who is my father? He said, I don't know, my son. I really tell you honestly, I don't know. Because I sleep with so many men, I don't know who is the father. And even if I know also, I don't have contact with any of them. They just come and they pass through. So anyway, it is, so one day the mother died of old age, and Narada Muni was said, okay, this is a blessing in disguise. So then now I can, because my mother had only me, so I had to be with her. So until she was old and she died, then after that he was still young. So he left the place. He don't want to run this place anymore. He went and in search of holy place, you know, a place where there are holy, like holy cities, and then he used to associate with the sadhus, and he became a very high level devotee. And in his next life, he became Narada Muni. Narada Muni became like a deva, you know. He is a deva and he goes around preaching. He can travel all over the place. So anyway, one day he was traveling, and then he came across a Brahmana's house. And then Brahmana saw Narada Muni, and he knows Narada Muni is a very high level devotee. He's a great devotee of Krishna. He said, Narada Muni, please, can you please come to my house so that my house will be blessed? Can you please take some prasad and please tell me some stories about Krishna? So then I can become elevated and purified. So then Narada Muni said, sure. And then he came to the house and he gave nice prasad and he gave nice stories. And then the Brahmana asked Narada Muni, where are you going after this? He said, I'm going to see Krishna. Oh, you are so fortunate, Narada Muni. I'm so envious of you. Envious in a nice way, you know. So anyway, can you do me a favor? Sure, Narada Muni said, what do you want? He said, can you ask Krishna how many lifetimes I will be in this world before I go back to the spiritual world? Now, the Muni said, sure, no problem, I'll ask Krishna. And then as he was walking, he found a cobbler. You know, a cobbler is what? Huh? You know a cobbler, right? shoe repairer, shoemaker. And then cobbler saw Narada Muni. Cobbler also was a very nice devotee of Krishna. He said, Narada Muni, I'm so fortunate to get blessings, to get your associate. Can you please sit down? Can I give you some nice drink? So anyway, he got some nice cool more. In Tamil we call more. In North Indian we call lassi. So then anyway, Narada Muni accepts. And he asks, can you tell me some Krishna story? And then he was telling Krishna story. And then he said, Narada Muni, where are you going after this? He said, I'm going to see Krishna. Oh, so fortunate you are, Narada Muni. I'm so happy to have meet you. And can you tell me one thing? Say yes. Okay, are you coming back this way? Yes. Okay, can you tell me what Krishna was doing? Of course, I will tell you what Krishna. So anyway, Narada Muni went and he reached Krishna Loka. And Krishna was there and he was very happy. And then he said, how are you, Narada Muni? He said, I'm fine, Krishna. Just by meeting you, I'm already become refreshed. You are my spiritual energy. Every time I have to come and see you. If I don't see you, I don't get spiritually charged. And when I go preaching, I become drained out. Then I have to come back and recharge my battery with you. Say, oh, that's interesting, Krishna said. Okay, and then any story, he say, yeah, I met a Brahmana who's asking how many lifetimes more I have to live. He has to live. Oh, Krishna said, tell him 10 lifetime more, then he can come back to me. Narada Muni said, okay. Then he said, I also saw a cobbler. And then he's asking, what are you doing? What are you doing? So what I tell him? Krishna said, tell him I'm taking the elephant and putting through the eye of a needle. Okay, Narada Muni said, fine, I will tell him that. And then as he was leaving, Krishna said, tell the cobbler that he has as many lifetimes as the leaves under the tree he's working. Can you see this tree? So many leaves, right? Okay. So then the Narada Muni said yes. Narada Muni, whatever Krishna said, he just said yes. He did not argue with Krishna, why this, that, or no. The question asked, Krishna tell, finish. That's it. Krishna knows better. He don't need to tell, and you didn't. And Narada Muni didn't need to ask. It is not any problem for him. So anyway, he went first to the Brahmana's house. And then the Brahmana was very happy and called Krishna, Narada Muni, come, please come. Then what happened? He said, fine, after giving him some nice things to eat, he said, Narada Muni, how many lifetime I have more? Please tell me. What did Krishna say? Krishna says you have 10 lifetimes. The Brahmana was, from the smiling face, he became an angry face. Narada Muni, you must be joking with me, right? He said, no, Krishna said 10 more lifetimes. Narada Muni, I'm a very great Brahmana. I'm very pure. I don't do anything bad. I can go back this lifetime. Why I have to wait 10? I don't know. Krishna says 10. Okay. What was Krishna doing in the Krishna Loka? Oh, Krishna is taking an elephant and putting through the eye of needle. Oh, Narada Muni, you are a big cheater, huh? You never went to Krishna Loka. How can anyone take the elephant and put through the eye of needle? You are a big liar. Please get out from my house. You never went to see Krishna and you are making up everything. Please get out. So Narada Muni left. And then he's passing by the cobbler. The cobbler was very happy to see him. He said, please come, and he got him another drink. And then after that, he said, oh, what was Krishna doing? Can you tell me? He said, Krishna was taking the elephant and putting through the eye of the needle. And the cobbler said, wow, so wonderful. No one can do this but Krishna. That is a fact. Just imagine how he can take an elephant and put through an eye of a needle. Amazing! Then Narada Muni was a bit surprised. Wow, this man it seems to be like whatever Krishna is saying is he believes. He seems to be a very sincere soul. Then he said, Krishna says that you have as many lifetimes as the leaves under the tree are working. And then the cobbler started jumping and dancing. Narada Muni said, are you dancing and jumping? Are you happy or what? He said, I'm such a happy man. I'm so happy. But why are you happy? Krishna says that I have so many lifetimes more as the leaves under the tree. So I'm so happy. Aren't you unhappy? The tree got thousands of leaves and you are happy. Say yes. But the leaves can be counted. So one day definitely I can go back to the spiritual world. I'm so happy. And Narada Muni thought, wow, this man is really a very fit man, very good man. And know what happened after the man said that? All the leaves of the tree fell down except one leaf. That means this cobbler, by his sincerity and his love and his happiness, that Krishna is so merciful even though it's thousands of lifetimes. He is so happy. Krishna immediately threw all the leaves down, left one tree, and he took him back to his very place. You like the story?
Yes, nice story.
Okay. So basically, don't think that you are very great devotee. Always be humble, okay? And always understand that Krishna can do anything he wants. It's only your mind that cannot accept, because your mind is under material mind. You don't have the spiritual realization. Okay, who would like to read this? Today we are a bit late. I hope you don't mind. Who would like to read this? Volunteer, second time can, no problem, come.
I can volunteer, Prabhu.
Yeah, can. You repeat after me, can?
Can.
Jaya Vacham
Jaya Vacham
Pachakam Iti
Vachakam Iti
Udeti Bhavato
Udeti Bhavato
Nama Swarupa Dvayam
Nama Swarupa Dvayam
Purvasmat Param
Purvasmat Param
Eva Hanta Karunam
Eva Hanta Karunam
Tatrapi Jani Mae
Tatrapi Janimahe
Yastasmi
Yastasmin
Ihita Pradha
Vihita Prada
Mahaprani
Nivaha Prani
Amantad Bhavet
Samantad Bhavit
Asyenadam Upaso.
Asyenadam Upasyo
Yeah, sorry.
Upasya
So Pihi
Sopihi
Adanandam Buddhau
Sadanandam Buddhau
Ajati.
Majati. O holy name, you are manifested in two forms. One, the Supreme Person described by the holy name, and two, the sound vibration of the holy name. We know that the second form is even more merciful than the first, because although a person may commit many offenses to your first form, he will still plunge into an ocean of bliss by serving your second with his voice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So by chanting the holy name, is more merciful than the Supreme Lord. Because if you commit any offense to the Lord, you will still get the nectar if you chant the holy name with your voice. Okay? Understand, huh? So basically the holy name is more merciful than the Supreme Lord. Although the holy name and the Supreme Lord is the same, but the mercy part is there. So if you want to do offense, you chant the holy name. Whatever offenses you have done, all will be dissolved. Okay? So we end the story here. And the Bhagavatam, if you need for special price. So now questions.